Good evening and welcome to West Talk. Today is Tuesday, February 28th. I am here out of necessity, but quite honored to have my little boy Dawson with me today. Are you having fun at Rogers with Daddy? Well, what do you think of your experience here today so far?
I'm so hungry.
You're very hungry? Okay, we're going to make this quick and we're going to go get you fed, okay? We've got a great show for you tonight, folks. And right off the top, we're giving away some tickets, Dawson, aren't we? Giving away tickets to Tarmageddon. A great show happening at the Rotary Arts Center on March 3rd, and we want to give you tickets to go see it. And all you got to do to win these tickets, Dawson, isn't that right? Email cbfeedback@rci.rogers.com, which is probably running in the description here, or hit up Rogers TV Corner Brook on Facebook. In studio with us today, we're going to have Cam Forbes, Sam Osmond, Sandra Hewitt-Parsons to talk about the Community Art Studio, as well as Michelle from the Association for New Canadians to tell us about a fun event coming up. All that and more on this episode of West Talk, so stay tuned and please join us. All right, and as promised, we have three great guests in the studio today to talk about the Community Art Studio at the Rotary Arts Center. And you're seeing some faces that you may have seen before on Rogers TV, like Sandra Hewitt-Parsons over here, art therapist, and now Rogers TV host.
Yeah.
Yeah, and joining Sandra today is Sam Osmond from the Rotary Arts Center and Cam Forbes from Grenfell. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Sandra, we met last year and we talked about art therapy, and you filled us all in on what exactly that is, how it works, and how it helps. And since then, you're now hosting a program focused on art therapy on Rogers.
Yes.
And how has that experience been for you? Like, did you do any TV type stuff in the past, or was this just jumping right in?
This was my first ever TV show,
Yeah.
and it's been great. I've been stopped and asked if I was that lady on TV before, and it's been wonderful. A lot of people have enjoyed looking at me on TV and doing the experientials that I suggested, and hopefully season 2 will be just as great.
And so, first of all, I love your comment there, because, you know, being in Walmart and hearing, there's Buddy from Channel 9, that never gets old, right? But can you, for any of our viewers who maybe haven't caught your program, can you just give us a quick overview about what people would expect when they tune in to your show?
Art therapy is like you're working with your hands in a therapeutic way. It's not like fine art, like you don't make art and sell it per se, but it's for people who have stress and anxiety and can't really talk about what's going on with them. So we talk with our hands and our bodies and express it that way.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. And I know I recently just started, for the first time, sort of inspired honestly by some of the things you're doing in your show, I decided to try painting for the first time ever. And
awesome.
I asked my parents, because they always want to know what to give me for Christmas. I usually tell them nothing, but this year I said, I want a Bob Ross starter kit. And so they got me some canvases and some oil paints, and I've only had the opportunity to sit down and do it a few times, but it's incredible. It's like it's like time traveling. It's like I sit there and things just start happening, and next thing you know, 5 hours has gone by.
Yeah,
and,
you don't even notice the time passing.
Yeah, and so I didn't expect it to find it so sort of soothing, really. I thought it was going to be stressful, and I would sit down and be very disappointed in myself with how crappy I was at it. But you know, you trust the process, and it was really fun.
Yes, you hit the nail on the head. Trust the process.
Yeah.
Like, I've had a lot of clients who come in and expect perfection on day one, and you know they get really hard on themselves that, you know, well, this color, you know, I mix these two colors and I keep coming up with brown, or you know, I painted outside the lines sort of thing. But you know, I encourage them, okay, paint outside the lines, see where it goes.
Yeah, and certainly people sometimes have barriers, psychological barriers or physical barriers that prevent them from approaching it. And I'm colorblind, which is why
Okay.
I actually always like resisted it, because I
Yeah.
just assumed like, okay, I'm going to do this painting with the purple sky and like the yellow grass and whatever, you know. But yeah, when I let that go and realized that like, oh, maybe someone would find a colorblind painting like interesting, or maybe
Yeah.
that, you know. Anyway, super fun. Thanks for the inspiration.
Oh, you're welcome.
Cam, you're up at Grenfell now. You're involved in the arts program, I imagine?
Yeah, I teach in painting and drawing there.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool, excellent. Oh, I have all the right people here now. How long have you been up working for the college?
About 5 years now.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
And yeah, got to know Sam. We do life drawing.
Okay.
It's
What's
a-
life drawing?
Life drawing is when we invite a model to
Yeah.
sit, and then you look at the model and you draw what you see.
Cool.
And yeah, speaking of trusting the process, it's not so much about, you know, making something look like a photograph. It's about looking at what's there, watching the light and the shadows, and
Yeah.
responding to that. So yeah, there used to be life drawing on campus, and that had fallen off from happening, and our students were wanting it to
Yeah.
happen, and we talked to the RAC because there's people in the community that wanted life drawing, so
Yeah.
we're like, let's do this together. So yeah, we got to know each other that way. Got to know Sandra through having you come to the class and speak about what art therapy is
Right.
for our students.
So our arts scene here in Corner Brook is very connected by the sounds of it, right? And very collaborative as well, I'm starting to realize. And with life drawing, is it, are there multiple mediums involved, or is it all like sketching, drawing?
People can bring whatever they want.
Right.
Yeah, if you want to bring paint, you can, or if you want, we have drawing materials
Yeah.
too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Sam, so how long have you been at the RAC? I think I only started seeing you there within the last few months, maybe?
So I'm actually just going into my second year now.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I need to go to more shows at the
yeah.
RAC.
That you definitely do.
Yeah.
You just got to drop
So
all
does
the
everyone.
box off.
Yeah.
Exactly. Everyone needs to come to more shows.
Yeah.
But I've been involved with the Rotary Arts Center for 2 years now.
Yeah.
I came in as a intermediate source as our visual arts coordinator had gone on maternity leave, and I was gracious enough to be offered the position after the fact when it became available, and I've been involved with the Rotary Arts Center and the Tina Dolter Gallery since.
Cool. And so that's interesting, because I'm just from like a music background. I'm mostly familiar with the Rotary Arts Center for its lovely theater and, you know, the performances that they have there. I didn't actually realize that the center has staff who are just focused on art and visual art and things like that.
Yes, so my job with the Rotary Arts Center is to take care of both the Tina Dolter Gallery, which is our juried exhibition space, as well as the Open Gallery, which is our non-juried space, and that's open to students, emerging artists, and creatives alike, as well as groups. My job is to take care of the showcases and the exhibitions that go through both the spaces, as well as working with these lovely individuals, as well as we have a few other collaborations with different parts throughout the city,
Right.
and deal with workshops and events that come through the visual art side of things.
And so, big picture, is this what we're referring to as the community art studio? Or is this a separate project?
It's definitely part of what we're doing for
Okay.
sure. It's one of the events or open maker spaces that the Rotary Arts Center is involved in. So I'll touch on it lightly before letting
Sure.
Sandra and Cam talk a bit more about it. So the Community Art Studio is open to patrons and artists alike. We do it twice a month, so it's 2 Saturdays out of the month. And it's in the early afternoon from 1:30 to 3:30. It's open to everybody from any age and of any background, and it gives you an opportunity to come in and create and talk to other like-minded individuals.
And sort of like the space and the materials and everything is kind of provided?
All's provided, and it's a free drop-in service. We do have different ways where you can donate to either the Rotary Arts Center or for different things that are going on, but it is a free event, and we invite everyone to come and have
Wow.
some fun.
And so, Cam, in what capacity are you involved with this?
Well, Sandra founded the Community Art Studio based on the Art Hive model.
Yeah.
And art hives are, well, maybe I'll let you explain it more, but in brief, a space where people from community can come together and make. And the idea that that act of making together builds a healthier community and healthier individuals. And myself, before I came to Corner Brook, I lived in Winnipeg and was part of a center called Art City, which was a community center open to all ages, and professional artists, community artists, people would come together and offer workshops or just come in and make what they wanted. And it was
Sounds amazing.
the best place. It was so great. Like, you know, and they, volunteers would come in. I started as a volunteer, and, you know, I might be having a hard day, and then you come, you make with people, and then you're like, okay, this is how we can, you know.
This is the way to fix the world.
Yes, yes. And it's, you know, there's no right or wrong answers.
Yeah.
It's express yourself, try different things, think critically about issues, and so important for kids too, to learn that, you know, there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer, but you have to approach this problem and think about it and try to solve it. And yeah, so I really believe passionately in having that kind of space, and Sandra did too. That space was happening. COVID happened. It kind of so we're working together to do this here, and, you know, we're doing some projects together in the Northern Peninsula that offer these kind of workshops.
Yeah.
And Sandra, I just got the light from our producer, which means we're in the final moments of our interview. But, you know, how do you translate when you're in this space, when you're in the community art studio? What is when you get to speak to people who have never, you know, they're just walking in the door, coming in cold, no real expectations or experience, what is your message to these folks, and when you get the chance to interact with them? People who may or may not be there for therapeutic reasons, just they're there out of curiosity.
Well, yeah, I mean, when Cam said everybody participates, like everybody participates. It doesn't matter if you have a job and money, or, you know, like what age you are, or where you come from. I started almost 10 years ago. I used to have a studio space in the Rotary years and years and years ago. And I heard about art hives and met Rachel Cheney and Janice Timbodos, who are the instigators of Art Hives International. And I really believe that, you know, people from all walks of life could come, and it doesn't matter where you come from. You know, it's so therapeutic to just come together and to make. And we had a great turnout from the beginning, like professional artists, people who have complex disabilities would be making things side by side. It was pretty great, and it continues to be great with these two lovely women.
It sounds amazing. And so for all the people who are now hearing this and saying, heck yeah, I want to go down there and make some stuff with these cool people, when is their opportunity, and when should people drop by and check this out?
The next one is March 11th.
It's every other Saturday.
Yeah.
There you go.
1:30 to 3:30. So we just had one this past Saturday.
And they do it, I'm usually in St. John's, so they do it on the ground. I offer online art therapy, or art hives, community art.
Cool.
So that's been taken off.
Yeah, so if anyone wants to join remotely, they can email the RAC and get the Zoom link to join this remotely as well.
So cool.
And that's good for all over Newfoundland and Labrador.
Wow, incredible. I want to thank you so much for coming down and telling us all about this. I'm looking forward to coming down on the 11th, and I don't know if this is necessarily the point, but I'd love to pick up a few tips and tricks from some of you guys. So thank you. And next time that you want to discuss anything related to community art, please come down and we'll be happy to discuss it. And that was Cam, Sam, and Sandra from the Community Art Studio. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with a local representative from the Association of New Canadians. Stay tuned. All right, and as promised now, with us in studio from the Association for New Canadians, Michelle, thanks for coming down.
You're welcome, Dustin.
Now, I only became aware that Corner Brook and this area had an association for New Canadians within the last year. And so for the viewers at home, can you tell us what this is all about and what really role the association serves here in our community?
Association for New Canadians is a non-profit, non-governmental organization and a registered charity organization here in Newfoundland and Labrador. So we are here like to support the newcomers like in their integration and settlement services we are providing. So to all the newcomer clients, like all the services that we provide are free of charge. We have like OIM, IPGS and ECOA like as our funders, and also like various donations from our community partners and other organizations here in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Awesome. And so like how many on an annual basis, do you have any rough idea of how many people are supported through the Association for New Canadians here in our area?
So we have like a lot of newcomers moving into Corner Brook. So not all the newcomers are our clients. Only once when they register as our client, then we'll be able to know. So approximately from 1,500 to 2,000 clients are there like in our region. But like there are more. Like only once when they reach out to us like for one of the services, we'll be able to know in total, right?
Right. So it's not necessarily any person who becomes a new Canadian here in the area, it's not automatic. They have to sort of connect with you and reach out for that support.
So we provide our services to temporary workers. That includes from international students, visitors, and workers. So with the international students, like they are enrolled as a student. So once when they wanted to join for one of our event or like have like anything related to the pathways to permanent residency, once when they graduate from their school, only then like we'll be able to know like the students at Grenfell campus. So we have like ongoing partnership like with Grenfell campus and College of North Atlantic in Corner Brook. So whenever we are doing an event, we do partner with them. So we'll be able to include like all the newcomers as international students as our client.
Cool. And so speaking of that, I know you have an exciting event coming up now in March.
Yes.
The Cultural Mosaic.
That's right.
Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Oh, yes, sure. So this event is brought to you by the Arts and Culture Center in Corner Brook, CB Nuit, ANC, Lawn, Licom, Franco, Rogers TV, and Rente Vedule Francophonie.
Wow,
My
a
pronunciation
a lot of partners involved
yes,
there.
that's right. So we have like tried to do like ANC sponsored like events here in Corner Brook. So since I joined in 2021, and since that time onwards, like we did like a lot of stage events, like potluck event, food and craft fair. So recently we did like partner with the Corner Brook Winter Carnival last Saturday, and the event went really well. Like it was at the Canadian Legion, and it was packed. There was not enough like space for everyone to move.
What was that event?
It was in partnership with the Winterbrook. Yes.
And what were you doing?
We did like a food and a craft fair and a stage performance.
So like international foods? And,
Yes.
So
so
cool.
international food and also Newfoundland-based like food items. Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And so is it a similar, the Cultural Mosaic, is this a similar sort of event as what people would have saw during the carnival?
Yeah, the Cultural Mosaic League will be more into the art part of the event. So there will be food vendors, local newcomer businesses from Vietnam, Philippines, India. So all the businesses will be setting up like a food stall like over there. And this event, the Cultural Mosaic League, will be free for like everyone, not just the newcomers. We wanted like everyone, like even the local residents to attend it.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Totally free event.
Yeah, it's a totally free event. It's just that like for the food and for the craft vendors, like they'll have to purchase it.
Yeah. So, and folks can just like you just book these tickets just like any other tickets at the theater? You just go online?
They can just like come in, like there is no registration required. Like they can just like come in like for the event.
Okay.
It will start from 12 o'clock until 6 o'clock in the evening. The stage performance will be from 1 o'clock until 5 o'clock.
And people just like go in and out of the theater
Yes,
kind of thing?
that's right. Yep. So
Oh,
inside
wow.
like the theater, like it would be the stage performances,
Yeah.
and outside like the theater, like then there will be an art exhibition.
Wow.
So the newcomers who have paintings, they will be there for sale, and also in henna art. So there will be a henna artist like who will be putting like live henna designs over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
This sounds amazing.
Yes, that's right.
And so, do you have a sense of how many different like nations and things are being represented at events like this?
Yes. So for the stage performances, we have newcomers from Sri Lanka, India, Ghana, Bangladesh, Mexico, and Colombia.
Wow.
Like will be taking part. And we also have Noah Hamilton. He is from
Amazing.
Conroe. Yes. So we are planning for a fusion performance. For the first time here, we are trying to do like a fusion performance of like one song in 5 different languages.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, Noah's a great person to bring into the fold there
Yeah.
too. He's a very multi-talented individual.
Yes.
Wow, this seems so neat. And so it's free to attend. You
Yeah.
don't need to register.
Nope.
On March 4th, and between 12 to 6, people can just go to the Arts and Culture Center and experience all that's going on
Yes,
there.
that's right.
Wow.
So other than the stage performance and the international food vendors, there are also other events like by our like different organizations. So the CB Noid like will be hosting like some of the events. So that is Jesse Donaldson and Louise Gautier from CB Noin. They will be doing a combination of visual art and a spoken word in a live creation.
Oh.
Yes, and the League of Artists of Western Newfoundland, they'll be doing like a memory boxes for people to take it home. And there will also be Kim and Mark Grady. There will be an exhibition of a home tree. So it is an interactive and immersive installation of a home tree in a visually enhanced environment. So like the idea behind it is like to include their like memory of home, and it will be surrounded by the multicolored flowing branches, knee-high mushrooms, colored and fairy lights, and it will also make it like glow at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds incredible.
Yes.
And is this open to all ages and
Yes.
young and old? And yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. This is exciting. I'm going to be down there. You'll
Oh,
see me
yes.
there, and I guess I can bring my young one with me. And we've got just a moment left in this interview, so maybe it's a good time to just talk about yourself a little bit briefly. So, how did you end up moving to Corner Brook, and what's your sort of story? And then how did you become part of ANC yourself?
Yes. Whenever like I attend an event, like I tend to tell like what's my story, like how I ended up like over here, and Newfoundland is my new
Yep.
home. And because I'm an Indian, I moved to Qatar like when I was 7 years old. My father like moved in when he was 18. So Qatar used to be my first home, like even though like I'm an Indian.
Okay.
So I finished my school and college like in Qatar. So the College of North Atlantic, which is based here
Yeah.
like in Newfoundland.
They
in
had a campus in
Stephenville.
Qatar, yeah.
Yes. So we used to have like a campus in Qatar. So I graduated with my business management and accounting from there. And I moved to Corner Brook in 2017 to finish my bachelor's, like at Grenfell campus.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was like a pathway for me. Now, like when I'm meeting like newcomers, I can understand like what is the feelings, like missing your family, your friends, like you grew up.
Yeah.
And when you're coming to a new place, it's actually a challenging. So even you won't be able to get your favorite food. It actually matters like when you're
Yeah.
deciding to take a big step like in your life, right?
For sure. Like we all know about comfort food, and like food is a thing that in times of trouble, a lot of us will turn to make us feel a little bit better. So
Yes, that's
yeah,
right.
that's something I never even thought about. You know, when you come to a place and then that that one little thing that can sort of recorrect your day is not necessarily available.
Yes.
And so when you first came to Corner Brook, did you have any friends or family or connections to this community?
So there was just one friend who came along with me who spoke in my language.
Wow.
So I'm from the southern part of India. As you know, like in India, we have 27 official languages.
Yeah.
So I'm from like a small state in India, like the southern part, called Kerala, and I speak the language Malayalam. So at that time, when I came in 2017, it was just me and my friend who speak the same language.
Wow.
Yeah, and for the first 1 year, like it was a bit, like difficult, and especially the first couple of months, because we didn't know anyone else like over here. And we started like the first couple of months was difficult in order to interact like with different students from different parts of the world. But we felt so, in a remote place like we are, right? There was like nothing like much activities. It was so cold at that time. Like I came in January, so we were not fond of like winter activities. So later, like when we were like in a time where we thought like almost all the time we were at like in our residence. So we started going out, like making friends from different classes, from out in the local neighborhood. So it was just after 1.5 years, there was like another batch of like students came in, like who speaks in our same language. So at the first like 1.5 years, like there was nobody else to talk to in your language.
Wow, incredible, and really just highlights the importance of associations like this that can help sort of steer people and familiarize people with the community, and maybe help them find other people who have similar backgrounds and things. So I think this is really cool. I'm really proud to know that this is happening in our community.
Yes, that's
and
right.
that someone like yourself is involved. And so I want to thank you for coming to the studio.
Thank you,
today.
Dustin.
And anytime you guys have another event to discuss, please let us know and we'll have you back.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
The Association's the New Canadians having their cultural mosaic at the Arts and Culture Centre, March 4th, 12 to 6. Go down. There's no excuse not to. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back to wrap up this episode. Stay tuned. That means it's time to end this episode. That's a wrap on today's episode of West Talk. We want to thank all of our guests for coming down. Don't forget to send in your name to win 2 tickets to Tarmageddon at the Rotary Arts Center coming up on March 3rd. Until next week, thanks for watching West Talk, and have a great night.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us, or send us your feedback through social media.
Now you can enjoy Disney Plus on Ignite TV. Just say Disney Plus into your Ignite TV voice remote and stream Disney Plus movies and series like Marvel Studios' Black Panther, Wakanda Forever,
For Wakanda!
Star Wars: The Bad Batch,
Real subtle.
and Strange World.
The world is so big.
Upgrade to Ignite TV today and get 6 months of Disney Plus on us. Visit Rogers.com/Disney to get started.
Did you have fun? Check this out.